I've tried to avoid talking about Star Wars on this channel. I've tried to avoid it immensely. With the recent news, it can't be avoided anymore. I have to talk about the modern Star Wars films. Force Awakens is a good homage to A New Hope. As I was leaving the theater, I was thinking more original stories and characters should be introduced in the future, so the Disney era Star Wars can differentiate themselves from previous entries, mainly the original trilogy. What did Disney do? They made Rogue One. That's a step in the right direction. That's how you expand the Star Wars universe past the Skywalkers, the Solos, and the Jedi Council. Then Disney goes out and starts announcing a lot of spin-offs. You get a spin-off. You get a spin-off. You get a spin-off. Everyone gets a spin-off. Han Solo, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan. Wait, I'm okay with that. Jabba the Hutt? Listen, Kathleen, I know you got the power, but you don't gotta do this. The only thing that we're going to get out of these spin-offs is that the Star Wars universe is smaller than we thought. How about you create new characters? Give them their own side stories. I'm sure Star Wars fans would love to see new characters, new worlds, and new stories within the Star Wars universe. But not if it ties back to the original trilogy. You see, because if it ties back to the original trilogy like the sequel trilogy does, episodes 7, 8, and 9, everybody was saying episode 7 was too much like A New Hope. And yeah, you could say that is either a good or a bad thing. I thought it was a good thing because I thought they were just paying homage. But then I started noticing more people were actually hating on it just for the fact that it was just like A New Hope. And people were accusing it of recycling ideas that were done in the past. Now, Rogue One kind of proved everybody wrong there for a little while. One of the biggest plot holes in all of A New Hope was finally explained, and it got its very own movie. Now, that movie had its moments. That movie had some stuff that wasn't that good either, but it was a brand new story. But again, it had that overall central link to the original trilogy, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. A story set way before the prequel trilogy or way after the sequel trilogy. Something that doesn't involve the Empire, the New Order, or the Senate. None of that. None of this. None of what we've gotten in the past. How about, why don't we, focus on, two bandits doing bandit-ish things in the Star Wars universe? Or how about this guy that goes to the ruins of the Jedi Council? The way of the Jedi is just like a lost art or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the stuff off the top of my head because honestly I didn't really plan out this whole brainstorming section that well, but you get my point. Just anything new that is not central to the prequel or original trilogy is like the sequel trilogy is already kind of making that mistake by linking itself to the original trilogy by having old characters clashing with new characters. Now this is a good way to pass the torch, but they're obviously going to be around until the very end of this trilogy's run. They're going to be in all, at least one character is going to live through episodes 7, 8, and 9. While I'm on the subject of Star Wars, I'm really hoping that The Last Jedi is an Empire Strikes Back. You got a Death Star. Oh, man. Okay, can we just get a new story that isn't like the original trilogy? Please. Can we just get a new story that is not like the original trilogy? Please. Kathleen Kennedy and company is making the Star Wars universe smaller and smaller with each spin-off. The Obi-Wan spin-off I'm okay with because Obi-Wan I think deserves his own spin-off. He kind of had to share time with the other characters in episode 1 through 3. I'd really like Ewan McGregor to come back for one more standalone Star Wars movie starring Obi-Wan. That's in between episode 3 and 4. I don't know what it could be about, but hey, that's what the writers are for, alright? I'm just some guy on the internet. I guess if I had a suggestion, a lot of people are saying they'd like it to be like Logan, but I don't know. I'd like it to be a Western like Logan. Tusken Raiders. Okay. It sounds kind of like a good idea, and it kind of sounds like Logan. I don't want the Obi-Wan standalone movie to draw comparisons to Logan, and then in turn maybe draw comparisons to The Last of Us. Have it be a Western, but have it be its own thing. I mean, they have the whole setting set up, okay? It's like they can have this easily be a Western. Tatooine, he's on Tatooine at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and Tatooine's a desert planet. This is an easy setup for a Western. Just whatever you do not have it be like Logan. Just maybe take some inspiration from some Clint Eastwood films, or I don't really understand why people want a Star Wars film to be R-rated. It's like, I've never really thought that Star Wars is the type of franchise that would have blood and guts going everywhere, but it'd definitely be distracting if they do make a movie like that. But I'm getting far off topics. Like, R-rated Star Wars film is another topic for another day. So, I guess we'll see what happens with Last Jedi when it releases. I'm Lino Mares of the MMCA Productions crew, and I'll see you next time.